start the recording so that this is captured for all posterity. Exciting stuff here, y'all. There were too many good days. So normally there's like 3 or 4 national days, and I choose the one that is the coolest. And I try to think about all different kinds of things when I'm choosing cool. So not just what's cool to me, but cool to everyone. And there were too many today. So it is car-free day. First of all, you're not supposed to use your car. You're supposed to use like, I don't know, bicycle, your legs, buses. It's good for the environment to not use our cars as much. In LA, I know we love to use our cars, but we should probably use our cars a little bit less. It is also Elephant Appreciation Day. As my second favorite animal, I want to appreciate the elephant. Love that elephant. Very cute, very strong. Can eat an entire cantaloupe like in one bite, like a cantaloupe, like this big. You guys know what I'm talking about? Cantaloupe, the big fruit. Just literally, I watched a zookeeper one time take the cantaloupe and put it in the elephant's mouth, and that was it. Like we had the elephant just ate the whole thing. So elephants, appreciating them. It is voter registration day. So it is the last day to register to vote. I don't know that that's true, actually. This is the day when we like try to get people who are going to be 18 to pumped up so that they can register to vote. So if you are someone who needs to register, if you are 18, you should be registering. But if you're someone who needs to register to vote, you can do that by just typing in register to vote in California, and then you can register to vote. That's a good thing to do. And then I think this is my favorite after doing some research. It is Centenarians Day. I had to really look up how to say that word, Centenarians Day. It means the celebration of people who are 100 years old or older. So this is Ida Keeling. She is 105 years old. I was going to say degree. She's 105 years old. She is super, super cool. She's written a book. And if you're wondering, what does she have to write a book about? She is an Olympian who is like kicking butt and taking names at 100 years old. So they have like the Master Games, which is like the Olympics, but for like older people. And she set the world record at 95 years old. She set the world record for running the 100-meter dash. And then at the age of 99, she broke her record. And then at the age of 101, she broke that record. So this woman is like awesome. She is like very, very cool. And she also holds the world record for number of push-ups in her age bracket. So like, man, this lady can do a lot of push-ups. She's very cool. She likes to cook and clean, and while she's doing that, she does squats. That's how she stays young. I was very impressed. I was like, if I can still do a squat when I'm 105, I'm a big fan of that. So the check-in question is, what would you do if you were 100 years old? Or if you're going to live to be 100, what would you do? My great-grandma lived to be 104. I was very young when I met her, but she lived to be 104. So I'm hoping maybe I'll get to live to be 100. I was also thinking, if you are 16 right now, you're not going to turn 100 for 84 more years, which means that you would live to the 2100s. You'd be like 2104. And you'll be like, I was born in 2004. And then you'd be like, and then your grandkids and great grandkids would be like, you're old. So let's all hope to experience that someday. So think about it. What would you be interested in doing when you're 100? Wishing a happy early birthday to Amaris, whose birthday is tomorrow. Happy early birthday. We won't be able to be together. So happy birthday, Amaris. And we'll get going today. I definitely did not post the link at all. That is why it is on the slide, so I remember. If you could go ahead and take attendance if you haven't yet. It is for just. David, you want to see the new social media when you're 100? I'd like to see my family before I sleep forever. I live to be 100. I jump off an airplane and then eat ice cream all day with your family. I love that. I would eat ice cream all day too. I love ice cream. Okay. Cool. I wanted to chat through. Are we done with attendance? Give me a thumbs up if you are. Do you even need the link? Do you guys just go to whatever and click on the thing? Or you like having the link? Yeah, thumbs up. Cool. Okay. Cool. Need the link. Great. I'll send it to you. Here we go. Road trips every week. I like that idea too, Diana. Okay, I wanted to chat really quickly. I saw that there was a trouble spot on the IXL, particularly with the this like absolute value one, right? So if you are thinking about the absolute value one, I want you to think about the center of it by thinking about the opposite of this, right? Wow, that's not helpful. The opposite of 5 and the same number as 1. So that's like your center point. So the opposite of positive 5 would be -1. I'm sorry, -5, -5, and keeping this one -1. So -5 and -1 would be right here. So this is not helping me. Let me see if I can annotate. Oh yeah, here we go. All right, -5, -1 would be right here, right? -5, -1. And then since it is absolute value, you would want it to go straight up this way and straight up that way. So you would go ahead and draw your first line like this and your second line like this. Right, so this would be your absolute value. Since it is shading down, right? Shading down, you would shade down all of this section here, right? So shading down like that. And then your second line, which I will try to change colors here. Your second line starts at +7 right here, and then goes up 3 over 1, and then backwards like this. Wow, this is very cute. Way less fun than an iPad. Cool. And then, wow, I also, did I draw that totally wrong? I don't know. I think we're fine. And then since this is a or equal to, you would want to have your solid line going through here. So I already made a mistake, which is the blue one should be dashed, right? The blue one should be dashed. So if you're thinking about this blue one, it'd be dashed like this. Dash, 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 dash. Right? And since the pink one is less than, you're going to shade down from the pink one. So the only part that you would shade in on IXL would be this part here, because that section is where there is the blue and the pink together. So not this section here where it's just pink, and not this section over here where it's blue, and not here where it's white, but right here where it is pink and blue, right? Pink and blue. So you'd want to shade in like all of this. You guys can imagine what that would look like. Yeah. Like that. Does that make sense? Sort of. Some people are like, yes. People are like, I'm still. Okay. So I just wanted to chat through that one. If you are still struggling, I totally understand. It is fine. And we're having office hours today at 3 o'clock. So drop by if you need some help. I'm happy to go over that one with you. Cool. We are going to jump into our notes for today. Our notes, you might have noticed, I did not send to you because they're not on paper today. They're actually going to be, we're going to try something new. And that's, wow, stop annotating. Clear all the drawings. Here we go. Okay. For our assignment today, for the notes section, we're going to start on Desmos. And the reason that we're going to jump into that is because what we're doing today is a lot of graphing, and I didn't want you to have to like draw all these like little graphs on your screen or like on your paper. And so I wanted to give you access to a tool that will let us like go through it together. So if you could please open assignment 10. Open assignment 10. and click where it says click here to get started. Go ahead and open that up. I see 3 people have already gotten there, which is great. 16, 18, awesome. Give me a second to get mine to load. All right. So I see 24 of us have gotten in. If you need the link directly, I can go ahead and put it in the chat here, although eventually I'll have to find the assignment. If you need the link, go ahead and click there. Got 25 students, awesome. This is going to be your notes for today, and it will also be 10 points off of, or 20 points within your assignment. So please go ahead and jump in. You can stay on that first page. I'll go ahead and pace us through it. So we are going to be on page 1. Everybody should see page 1. So please make a sketch of your energy level over the week. So you can, I see some graphs that are like kind of like this. I see some graphs that are like start at the bottom and then go up and then down and then up again. I see a couple lines that are just like straight up at the top. Mia, I'm so glad you're having such a great week. Devin's line like goes up and then down a little bit, but still pretty solid. So I see lots of people graphing their energy level over the week. Galilee is just straight meh. That's all. If you want to do a little explaining about why your graph looks that way, you can. Awesome. Devin's energy is usually always up. I'm loving it. Miriam's feeling chill. Nice. I see some people's weeks are getting better, like they start at the bottom and it's kind of meh, but now they're having a better time. I hope that's my class. I'm a big fan. My favorite is when I do this in class and I ask like, how is your weekend? And people are like, my weekend was awesome. And then it says today and their grade just, or their graph just like tanks and goes down. And I'm like, they're like, sorry, miss, I just didn't want to come to school. So, you know, that happens. Okay, cool. I'm gonna go ahead and extend us to the next one here. Whoops, sorry, y'all. So you can now go to page 2. I'm gonna try to make this go. Why are you being mad? There we go, restrict. All right, on page 2, is there anyone who would like to read for us? Anyone who wants to read? Go, Diana, tell us what these equations are.
This is a graph of f of x equals 2x plus 6 and g of x equals negative x plus 1.
Awesome, thank you. So we have the red graph representing one of them and the purple graph representing the other. Go ahead and click over to slide 3. If you're figuring out how to get over there, it's at the top. You just click over to slide 3. So when you put pieces of them together, it's called a piecewise function. Get it? It's pieces, piecewise, LOL, yeah. So it's a piecewise function. So when you put pieces of them together, it's called a piecewise function. And that is what you see on the graph there. So you see the red section of the graph, and then you see the purple section of the graph. You can see that the purple line goes off the graph at the bottom. So you can assume that that graph is going on forever and ever. Okay, you can assume that's going on, continuing on. Cool. Let's head over to slide 4. So for slide 4, we're going to talk about some like official language. So it says piecewise functions are functions that are made up of more than one function. So it must still be a function, so it still has to pass the vertical line test. It doesn't have to be one-to-one, so it doesn't have to pass the horizontal, but it does need to pass the vertical line test. It says on this graph, the first function, the red one, is f of x equals 3x when x is less than 0. So if you're thinking about your interval axis, right? So when x is less than 0, this section here, right, the red section, we're talking about the red graph. And then when x is greater than or equal to 0, that's the blue graph, right? So notice how we write it. There on the graph, it says f of x equals 3x, x is greater than 0, or x is greater than, I'm sorry, less than 0 and then greater than 0, right? So that's how we're going to write it when we write it on paper. But right now in Desmos, we're going to put them on 2 separate lines. So I'll show you how that works in a second here. Go ahead and head to slide 5. Head to slide 5. On slide 5, you're going to see 2 graphs that look pretty similar, but are kind of different. I want you to take about 30 seconds. What do you notice is different between these 2 graphs? So you should see a box where you can type. What do you notice is different between these 2 graphs? Caitlin, I love your answer. If it's possible, can you unmute and talk to us about your answer? Caitlin, are you there?
Yeah, sorry.
That's okay. Tell us about your answer. What did you notice was different?
I noticed that one of the graphs, it's closed circle, and another graph, it's open circle on points -1 and 4.
Yeah, totally. Thank you, Caitlin. So notice that that's really the only difference is that the points at the ends of the lines are changing, right? So if you head over to slide 6, you'll notice we have the red line, right? So the red line has an open circle on it. And that is because it says x is less than 0. There's no equal sign there, right? So x is less than 0. So it's an open circle. On the second line where it says x squared, this is when the x's are greater than 0, right? So you'll notice that at the origin where the blue line starts, there is a closed circle, right? There's a closed circle. So open circle and then a closed circle, right? So we want to pay attention to those restrictions is what they're called. Restrictions, because those are going to tell you if you have an open circle or a closed circle there. Okay. Let's go ahead and take a look at slide 7. All right. For slide 7, you're going to see 6 graphs and 6 piecewise functions. 6 graphs and 6 piecewise functions. If you drag them on top of each other, they will connect, like snap together. And then that will mean that you're creating a pair, right? You're creating a pair. So you want to check with those, check with each of the closed circle and open circle. And then you're going to double check which one is closed and which one is open. Go ahead and try for a moment on your own to make sense of that. If you need to reorganize the cards, you can. And then go ahead and try connecting them. So I'm going to share my screen here for a second. A couple things. One, if you want to see something bigger, you can click on it and it will become bigger. If you want to like just drag them to rearrange them, you can. Some people like to put like all of the equations in one like group and all of the graphs in another group so that they can sort of see them. Go ahead and find the graph that says number 1 on it. Find the graph that says number 1 on it. So for number 1, I see that there is a closed circle at -4, and then that line goes until an open circle at 1. So for my first line, for my first restriction, I needed to go from -4 to 1. So when I look here, I see, okay, this one's from -4 to +1, and this is a closed circle and an open circle. Right, so a closed circle on -4 and an open circle on +1. So I'm thinking, okay, this might be a contender, right? This might be a contender. I'm going to drag it over to +1. For this one, I don't see the 4 and 1, so I don't think it's that one. I don't see the 4 and 1. I don't think it's that one. I'm going to see this one. I see 4 and 1, but I see open circle and open circle. So I don't think it is that one. I'm going to look at this one here. I see it's an open circle and open circle, so I don't think it is that one either. These are graphs. For this one, I see a closed circle and an open circle. So, ooh, this is also a contender here, right? So I'm going to go ahead and drag this one over here. I'm going to notice the difference between H and G, right? Between the H equation and the G function, right? One says X is greater than 1, like it goes on forever after 1. And this one says from 1 to 6 with an open circle on 1 and a closed circle on 6. Right, so this one right here, open circle on 1 and a closed circle on 6, that seems like it's the winner. So I'm going to take H and I'm going to move it out here because that does not go together. Right, so I know that graph 1 goes with equation G. And so I'm going to go ahead and close these up so I can kind of like get them out of the way. And then I'm going to choose another graph, choose number 2. And I see, okay, it's going from -4 to +1. I see both open circles. I remember that I had some open circle ones here, open, 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 but this one is not going to work because that is a closed circle. I'm going to go ahead and move this over here. So it's one of these options. I see that this starts at 1 and then goes forever. So 1, X is greater than 1, that could be it. X is greater than 1, this could be it. However, it's a closed circle, so it should have a closed circle to equal to version. So I'd say, okay, I think this is the one for me. And I'm going to go ahead and drag that one here. So number 2 should go with F. Number 2 should go with F. And that is the second time. So you're trying to match these ones. Give you a few more minutes to take a look at them. You can take a look at my screen if you'd like. If you look at your screen, you should see a name in the top corner. That name is your name, and then you can look for that name on here. So Gahold Eisenstein, Johannes Kepler, you're doing great. Evelyn Granville, you got all of them. Alhazen, you got all of them. Sophie Germain, you got all of them. Nina Bari, you got all of them. Ernst Kummer, you got all of them. Caroline Series, you have a couple that are off. Joseph Fournier, you have a couple that are off. Al-Kwarmisi, looks like you have some stacks here going. That's great. Archimedes, you have a few to take a look at. Albert Einstein, you have a few to take a look at. Blaise Pascal, I see you organizing. Mary Somerville, you did awesome. If you're feeling good, I'm gonna open up slide 8 and slide 9. Feel free to move on if you're feeling good. If you're not feeling good, stay on this slide. Cynthia Dork, great job. You're done. Courtney Gibbons, you are done. Vivienne Malone, you are done. Ed Ray Goins, great job. Johann Lambert, awesome matching. Jacqueline Fernand, awesome. Nina Bari, cool. Caroline Series, you have about 3 are off. Herman Weil, good job disconnecting. Nice pair. Moon Dushin, you have 1 off, 2 off now. Archimedes, Apollonius, you need a few more. Are there any pairs that we are stuck on? Go ahead and chat me if you're stuck on a pair. Kelly, one of your graphs is lost. I'm sorry to hear that. If you have a particular number graph, you're like, I just don't know which one this goes with, let me know. I see some graphs here. The name of your scientist should be in the top left corner, Axel, I believe. This is great, guys. I wanted to show you, I'm going to go ahead and turn this person off, Johannes Kepler. So I see that they have drawn, so the purple line is what they're supposed to be matching. And then this one here, the red line, is awesome. However, we don't need it to be, we can just set it equal to, it doesn't have to, I'm sorry that it's dashed, it doesn't have to be dashed. So this is a perfect line, but we want to make a restriction, right? The way that we make restrictions is you go ahead and use the curly brackets like this, the curly brackets, and then I say, okay, I want this graph to start at -2. I'm going to put -2 is less than x. And I'm going to turn on my graph so that I can see it. And you can see that once I put it at -2, now it's starting at -2. And then I want it to go up until right here, which is in between 0 and 2 is 1. So I'm going to say, but less than 1. I'm going to go ahead and turn this on. And I can see that the purple line and my red line that I started with are exactly matching now, right? They're exactly matching. And so that means that I am done with this slide and I would go to the next one, right? So go to the next one. So you are trying to match yours exactly. This is how you would write your restriction and decimal. So Johannes Kepler, you're gonna actually go back and fix that one, please. Al-Kwarmisi, it looks good. You just need to extend your line a little bit there. So Mary Ellen Rudin, go ahead and go back to you. Oh, maybe not. Let me see. Yeah, go ahead and add your restrictions, Mary Ellen. These names are so fun. Nice, doing a great job. So it looks like Alhazen has started with a graph that looks like this. I love that they started with the x squared, like this for the parabola, right? X squared. If you want to move it left and right, so they have matched it perfectly on down at 3. Since they want to move it over to 2, I would recommend putting parentheses like this and putting something like +2. Notice that moved it to the right. You don't need parentheses on the outside, but parentheses like this. That moved it to the right. So you would have to figure out, how do I move it to the left? Remember, when it's inside parentheses, it has to be the opposite. So I'd say, oh, okay, I'll move it to -2. Like that. Feel free to continue. You have all the way up to slide 13. See lots of movement on slide 9 and slide 7. So Blaze, Pascal, and anyone who's on slide 7, you're going to want to start by creating this line, So I see that it's going through at 1, right? Going through at 1, but I need to have some type of slope. See that the slope is like up 2 over 1. So I'm going to put 2x and then +1. So this would be the line. Then I'm going to go ahead and put in a restriction. I want it to start at -2. So I'm going to start at -2 like this, and then is less than x, like that. And now it will start at -2. I want it to stop at -1. I'm going to go ahead and stop it at -1, like that. Right, once you turn your line back on, you should be able to see, oh, at +1, like that. I see a few people are stuck on restricting their line on 8. Thank you for that question in the chat as well. I'm sorry, on slide 8. Yeah, slide 8. So you're gonna do the restriction. Make sure that you're using the X values, Araceli. Did you figure that one out? Okay, cool. So if you look at Evelyn Granville, my screen that I have here, right? Evelyn Granville, they have made those parentheses, which is awesome, but they would want to go ahead and make sure that the square is on the outside of the parentheses. So the square goes out here like this. And that's going to go ahead and make that line actually move. So we're going to move it over to like 2 and then down to 3, like that. Down to 3. And then we want to do our restriction. So I want my restriction to start at 0. I'm going to go ahead and restrict it 0 to x, so it starts there, and then cut it off on the other side at 5. Great job, guys. These graphs are looking awesome. Nice. I see on slide 10, people are using a negative in order to flip over their graph. Great idea. See, Ed Ray has matched the center point, and then all they had to do was flip over the graph. Don't forget to do your restrictions as you head to slide 10. Grace Chisholm, I like your graph for number 7 or 8, the line. The only problem here is your restriction has to be the smaller number first. So in this case, -2 and +1. So that's why you lost your line there. So my Grace friend, that is how you would want to fix that. So for slide 10, guys, I see some people getting to this position. And we want to make sure that we are, for the point that's here, the center point of this graph, the vertex, is at -1. So we want to put x plus 1 there. And since it's shifted up to 3, we want to put a +3 at the end there, right? A +3 there. And then you would want to go ahead and think about your restriction, going from -4 to +1. So from -4 to +1, just like that. You guys are doing a great job. I love the thinking that I'm seeing as you're working through here. You know, some of them are very challenging. If at any point you want to private message me, we can talk about a specific one. Otherwise, keep going. You're doing great. Stuck on 11 from the chat. Awesome. Let's go to 11. So for 11, we see that this is the graph of absolute value. So I'm going to go ahead and press y equals, and then absolute value is the button above the enter key, but it's not the backslash, it's the shift version. So shift, and then you can put in the absolute value like that with the X. If you don't like going there, you can press the keypad button, and then it's this button right here, where it's like above the ABC. So you press that button and then it will give you that line there. Or it's the shift and then next to the curly bracket. So that makes it go like this. And then we want to move it to the left 3. So I'm going to go, it should be -3, but since it's next to X, it's opposite. So +3, we'll move it like that. And then I want to move it up 1. So I'm going to do up 1, like that. I'm going to go ahead and do a restriction. I want to start at -5. So -5 is less than X. And that's going to start it there. And then I want it to go to 1. I'm going to do is less than 1, like that. This is how we should do 11. You're welcome. Thanks for asking that question. All right, team. I know that we were coming up on time. Number one, I wanted to say thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm going to pause this for just a sec. I'm going to turn off my screen share. If I could pause you guys for just a second on your Desmos. Number one, this is a new way of learning and we're doing it online, which is not ideal. So I want to appreciate you guys working hard. I want to take a step back from our assignment today. So I'm going to do this. This right here, what you're working on Desmos, this is your assignment, okay? This is your assignment. If you get some wrong or you can't figure out how to do some, that is totally okay. You can just like show me that you have tried on each section and I will give you those points, okay? We are going to pause on the assignment. We will do the assignment, like the actual, like what is assigned there for assignment 10, like parts 2 and 3. We will do parts 2 and 3 either on Thursday or next week. But since I want to like honor that we spent a lot of time working on this today. So you do not need to complete parts 2 and 3. If you're feeling good and you want to get ahead, you can totally do that. But you do not need to complete them. I'm going to go ahead and write don't do on this. But for those of you who have already made a copy, we are not doing parts 2 and 3. So, Araceli, what is required? What do you have to do?
Complete the Desmos.
Complete the Desmos, that's it. And it saves as soon as you do it, and you're now in my class. So if you click on that link and come back to it, as long as you're logged in, it will keep like saving and you can come back to it anytime. So you can feel free to close your tab if you have to. If your computer shuts down, no big deal. If you are struggling, we are going to have office hours at 3 p.m. today. Feel free to come by in 9 minutes. We will have those office hours begin. You do not need to submit anything on Canvas. I can grade everything from Desmos itself. So awesome news. You don't have to do anything. So you are already in it. You're just going to finish up Desmos all the way to the end. If you get stuck by something, totally fine. If there's room to write like, Miss, I don't get this, you can. If there's not room to write it there, then just show me some type of math there and I will know that you got confused. Does that make sense? Thank you so much for engaging in this like new type of notes. I noticed some things went okay and I noticed some things went not so great. So I'll make some adjustments for next time as well. So thank you guys. You guys can go ahead and jump off and I will see you at 3 o'clock if you like. Adios, amigos. Mia, you don't have to submit anything. It's already on there. I got it. Every time you click a button, it will go. Bye, guys. Bye, Kayla. Brandon and Janet, did you guys have questions? Oh, yay. I'm so glad that you liked it. I'm glad to hear that, Janet. Brandon, you don't need to worry about part 2 and 3 right now. Until when? Probably, I think we'll probably do it on Thursday. So if you want to do it right now, you can. If you're feeling comfy. Yeah, we need some new learning. I'm glad that you really liked it, Janet. That's good feedback. Thanks for letting me know.
Yeah, I feel like it's really organized and super easy to use. It's like, instead of, I forgot what other website we use for our other classes, but I feel like this one just goes by smoother, and I like that we can like go at our own pace, but you also slow us down by opening the page. I feel like that's super beneficial, and I'm actually enjoying doing the work.
Yay, that's exactly what I want to hear. I think it's is it Nearpod, the other one?
Yeah.
Yeah, Nearpod's kind of annoying because you can like only go to the slides that your teacher's on, and then you get
I know.
if they try to go faster, then like you get cut off, right? Like you can't move on. So yeah. Yeah, I love Desmos. I'm trying to get everyone to use Desmos, but it's like designed for math teachers, so I understand people not wanting to use it.
No, yeah, this is super good. Plus, I really like taking notes, and I don't know, but this also made it easier. Instead of taking those notes and having to spend all that time, it's more efficient.
Yeah, and I think since you can come back to it, it's good. I don't like online things that you can't come back to, you know?
Yeah.
Because sometimes like you do something online and then you go back to that website and it's gone.
And you lose your work.
Like, yeah. So this should be better. But yeah, we'll see. Well, thank you for that feedback. I appreciate that, because I was like, I feel like for some people it really is like good and they like it, and for some people
I think it's really good.
Good, cool. Okay, thanks, Janet. I'll see you.
Thank you. Bye.
Thursday.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
Isaiah, are you talking to me? I don't think you can hear me. I'm gonna move you out. Unless you're here.
Hi, Miss Mac.
Hi, Gabby. How are you? Wait, are you okay that I call you Gabby, or do you prefer Gabriella?
No, you can call me, honestly, you can call me whatever you want. I go by both. I answer to both.
Okay. I just don't want I know some people like have a real problem with like extra names, and I don't want them to be like that. So great. Cool.
No, you're fine.
Okay. Sounds good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm overwhelmed just by the work and stuff. Like these past days, I've been feeling like really, like, I don't know if this is the right word to say, like burnt out. Like I just feel like I'm not myself with work and stuff. So I'm like, eh.
I'm sorry to hear that. That sucks. Okay. Well, how can I help you?
So I have a question over the docs that we did today. I don't know if you read my text I texted you. For the last question, when you pick like 5 goes with this one, 6 goes with this one, 7 goes for this one, I strongly feel like I did it correctly, but it says it's wrong. I don't know if it's because of like I'm confused of the setup of how to place it, like put the dot in. Or...
I'm pretty sure it's that I didn't set the right answers.
Oh.
Hold on. Go ahead. Sorry.
I tried to like resubmit and see like if I'm doing it, like let me see if I'm wrong, but it marks all of the things I chose wrong. So I just like did the conclusion of what I think is right, and I just send you the screenshot.
Yes, thank you. Let me fix this. I didn't fill out the answer keys. That's why. It's just blank. You would have, if you had left it blank, you would have gotten it correct. So that's dumb.
Oh,
Let me
really?
think. Yeah, no, it's just
I
dumb for
spent
me.
like 20 minutes trying to do it.
I'm so
And I was
sorry.
getting mad. I was like, I don't know how to do this. Because
No,
I kept
you
referring to
do.
the note like on 5 when it's like the equal sign with the line under. I was like, okay,
Uh-huh.
that's solid. So I'm pretty sure number 5 goes with B. And then the other ones, and I was like, if I'm doing this wrong.
No, you totally got it. It is, the first one is B, 5 is B, 6 is C,
6 is A.
6 is A? No, 6 is C.
6 is
Because they're
B?
both, 6 is C, like as in cat. You got that right.
I did? Okay.
Yeah, 6 is C because they're both X's, so they should both be up and down.
Okay. It's because I submitted 2. I did like the resubmit to see if I'm doing it right. Like I compared both of them. So I exit out one of them. So that was probably it.
Okay, okay. Let me look at these ones. Let me regrade that question because that is totally my bad. Let me look at this question. 5 goes with B. What the heck? Why is that doing that? 6 goes with C, and 7 goes with A. Well, I'm gonna stop recording.